Hey everybody, so it's 8:36 p.m. and I am coming out here to show you my nighttime routine with the chickens as it currently is. Usually they are up in bed right now and they are not, which is kind of frustrating because, as Zach mentioned in his last video, I have to manually shut their door, so I can't go to bed until they go to bed. And it looks like they're not quite ready to go to bed. Sometimes I have to strongly encourage them to go. Hey guys. So it actually looks like two of them are already in bed today. And they're looking good right now. They've been struggling with the heat the last couple days. I've had to bring out extra water, brought them lots of treats. So they had some watermelon rinds in there because they've been enjoying our leftover watermelons. But we got a nice little rainstorm this evening and that cooled everything off and they are much happier. Another update is that my parents had this dog pen in their camper that I thought about and figured it'll be a nice thing to use to let them have a contained free range. So Melanie and I set that up this evening. And it's really nice because I can, if I want to give them a different space to range in, I can move it around a little bit. And then I also stuck this gardening pole I had in there, and I'll either stick a small tarp over top of it or some netting or something just to discourage them from trying to fly over this. I'm not quite sure how tall they can fly up, but I think they probably could get over this if they really wanted to. So I'm planning to do that just in case. Get up in there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go to bed. Go to bed. Nope, go to bed. Yeah, I see you. Get on in there. Get on in there. Okay, so I finally got them all to bed. Had to gently shut the door on them. So what I do at night is I will come out here. Usually there are feeders in here, but I already took that earlier to wash it. So it's currently drying out in the house, in the garage. I'm gonna actually leave this here because I just washed that, so I think it's fine. I am going to get the watermelon rinds out of here, and you can see in the background that back there is our compost. So I'm gonna throw them in there. I don't really like fooling around out here at night too much because I feel like that's when the animals come out. And also there's like a ton of mosquitoes. But you can see one other thing that we did out here for nighttime is I got these little solar lights. There's three, there's one here, one there, and one over there, and these two have already come on. They were a set. They seem to work a little bit better than a single one. And they just help to illuminate the area because, nocturnal animals don't really like fooling around in the light. So that's my hope, is that it'll discourage like foxes and other things from fooling with our chickens. So that's it for tonight. Good morning, everybody. It is 6:41 the next morning, and we are here in the garage to show you what I do in the morning with the chickens. So this is, right for now, the chicken area. Now that the new shed is done, all of this stuff will eventually be moved out there. So this is where the chickens used to live. Actually, I'll show you this. So this bin here, this bin size, and then this lid with the hardware cloth on top. This is the chickens' first home. When they first got home and they were just itty bitty chicks, they lived in here. Now it's just, there's actually two bins here, one with a real lid, one with the hardware cloth lid. It just has storage stuff in there. So we'll get this all moved out of here into the shed so we can regain some of our space back. And if you notice this stuff to the sides looking really dusty, that is all chicken dust that we're still working on. They're still getting chick starter grower feed for now until they start laying, and then they'll get switched over to laying feed. And Like I mentioned last night, I just washed out their feeder because chickens are extremely dirty. And so they kick up the dirt and the shavings that I put on the ground, and it gets stuck to everything, especially if it rains and the ground is wet. So now we're gonna move outside. It's a little bit earlier. Oh gosh, a deer. I just scared a deer. You see it? Well, we scared each other. When we talk about the wildlife here at this house, like, it is no joke. It is totally normal to come outside and see deer and groundhogs, and I startle very easily. So this is the new water kit. It is a bigger tub, and it also has 2 nozzles on it. So I'm gonna try to set that up this morning by myself, and we'll see how that goes. It tilts, so when it fills with water, it tilts itself down and closes itself off, so the water doesn't keep running like it just did when it was leaning to the side because it wasn't working. So it's already stopped. And it's yellow because of the electrolytes and the vitamins and stuff. They are awake and out here. It is gross. This is the space they've got. They got a roosting bar, which is where they're sleeping. And you'll see that right now there's a piece of cardboard here, and I can show you that. The reason for that is because that's blocking off the area to the nesting boxes, which I read they shouldn't have access to until they're actually laying eggs. Otherwise, they'll begin to sleep there, and we don't want them sleeping there because then it will look like this. And we would prefer our eggs to not be laid in an area that looks like this, because this is gross and I need to clean it out. And all of these locks do like this. So they're supposed to be predator proof. Like, then you come back here, and this one, it slides around, and then you have to lift it. You can also put a lock on it if you want, if you're worried about somebody stealing your eggs. So we just got 3 nesting boxes here, which is plenty for the 6. Actually, we only have 5 hens because one is a rooster. Right now, I've just been using it for storage. Pretty soon, we will put, I just bought some nesting pads that we'll put in here for them to lay their eggs on. This whole bottom portion moves. So if I wanted to, like if the chickens were actually out, you could pull that whole tray out and I could dump that whole tray into the compost and just put completely fresh bedding down. I haven't done that because with them being underneath of it, it kind of freaks them out when I start moving that around. Anybody want to try the new water? No? Nobody? They're very hungry. And that's pretty much it for the morning. It is extremely humid right now.